What is going on, you guys? KG from KG Studios here with my first video of the year and probably my last. So I ended up getting a new laptop. I'm not going to explain where I've been. If I don't have to say anything, I won't. But in this video, I wanted to make a vintage design. I was listening to some Elton John, and I thought I'd go ahead and share my thought process with y'all. A little bit of a time lapse, I guess. I'm not going incredibly fast because originally this video was 3 minutes and it was a little bit too fast for me to describe anything. So this is my 10th time recording this, and I'm quite pissed at myself for it. So here's my thought process. I wanted Elton John to walk out of a circle. And you look at a lot of vintage designs, everything was capsulated inside of this circle. So that's what I decided to do, was make Elton John, instead of walking into the square yellow brick road, walk into the circle yellow brick road. And so I took him. The beginning part was me selecting him and masking him so I could try to get the best tracing of him, if that makes any sense. And so right here, I'm just trying to fill up that background because, as you can see, he's walking into the square, and it's like a texture, a paper texture through a brick wall. So I just wanted to go ahead and fill that up. And so right here, I'm trying to create a shadow of him walking through that circle. That's all I'm worried about, is specifically that bottom part of the circle. Thinking more so of the of him walking in. So now, for this part, I didn't know what I wanted to do with the yellow brick road. I didn't want to overdo it with putting another Elton John. He already had it on his jacket. So what I'm doing here is basically turning it into almost like a ripped paper, look. So I'm gonna ended up labeling them, letting the main focus be on the goodbye, yellow brick, and road. Trying to fix everything up, labeling them so that way I don't get lost. I should have been labeling as I went. And now I also wanted to put that shadow over the brick and road part as well. I don't even know what I was googling there. Right here was me trying to figure out how I wanted to do this. If I wanted to go ahead and use halftone, and then I realized the circle was pretty plain. So with the gradient map, I'm over here trying to figure out how to give it that gold look. I'm gonna end up teaching y'all a technique eventually, but once again, trying to mess with the halftone, figuring out is that how I wanted to go about creating my shadows, because the way that I do my method is I go underneath color range, which is right here. I use color range and I pick out dark parts, make a few copies, put a threshold over it, make sure it's really solid. Same thing with the highlights, and then kind of just picking out the certain colors to start to limit the color palette here a little bit. And so now I'm just going in, once again, messing with threshold, playing around with it, keeping the colors as little as possible, but still making this design stand out a little bit here. And now this is me adding from Duran Studio, the Xerox. I just really wanted to give it more depth into it, more depth. And here's me putting it on with a texture, and to end it all off, putting it onto a mock-up. If you need better instructions, slow the video down and just put me on mute and put on your best music. So here's how I do my mock-up, and to end it all off, here's the design. Look at the textures, the colors on it as well. As after we zoom in a little bit, looking at the texture, look at the texture, look at it, look at the texture, look at the texture. Damn, that's a lot of texture. There we go. There it is on the mock-up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that y'all learned anything other than that I ramble, and I also am lost most of the time when it comes to designing. I will see you all later.